We're here at Melbourne Museum for King Tut. This is the wonderful exhibition here on in Melbourne. You must book your tickets because it is booked out. So it's not something you can just rock up and say, I'll have 2 tickets, thanks. You've got to book in early. You will walk through the tombs, but we're here to see the black carpet.
Curators, so that's good.
That's a good start. Now, tell us a bit about the exhibition. It's been obviously at LA and London and now Melbourne. How did it get to be here? And
Fort Lauderdale and Chicago.
Just a few places and a few million seeing it.
People.
That's a lot. So already you've sold something like, what, 250,000 tickets in Melbourne?
But that was yesterday, so today must be up to 150 already.
So when walking through, what do we get inside? Is it set up like tombs? And tell us a bit about the journey through.
There are different environments. So the first half of the exhibition is really devoted to King Tut's family, because the last time the show traveled in the 1970s, it only had the artifacts from his tomb. This time it has all the artifacts from his family, 80 of them. And so you go through several environments. There's a temple environment, a tomb environment, palace environment, and then you get into the area of King Tut. You meet the boy king, and then you go through 4 different galleries with him, and then in the end there's another gallery devoted to scientific testing, and there's an exact replica of the mummy.
Wonderful tonight. It's almost mummification there.
Almost.
Tight fitting.
Can't fit anything else into this dress, so.
So you're looking forward to seeing the Tutankhamun exhibition?
Yeah, absolutely. It's fantastic for Australia, and it should be incredible. So I can't wait to see what it's like.
Have you ever had a fascination about Egypt life? And
I've always wanted to visit Egypt and have a look at the pyramids and what exactly is over there. Never been. So hopefully tonight will give me a little taste.
That's it. You don't have to go over there now. You can have a look here, and
I think I'll still go just to touch the sand on my feet. But tonight will give me a really good indication on the feeling and the atmosphere.
Ride some camels tonight.
I touched one before. I think he nearly bit my hand off.
Could be the leather. You might be wearing his cousin.
Maybe.
Joined here with Stephen. Now, you're bringing this amazing exhibition to Melbourne. Tell us a little bit about it and the process.
Well, I was fortunate enough to attend the opening of the exhibition in London back in 2007, and it was just a remarkable experience. And I decided then that we had to work out a way of bringing it to Australia. It's taken about 4 years of discussion to get here at this point, but we're delighted to be here.
Now, I noticed the tour is very simple as well. It's easy to follow. Like, I was in Egypt and there was just so much information. So you've really narrowed it down to quite an easy way of following it through with his family and then, of course, Tut himself.
Exactly right. We have 131 artifacts, of which 50 are from Tutankhamun's tomb, and the rest are, yes, as you said, from his relatives. But yes, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity because it is not going to be coming back to Australia.
And I guess going to Egypt's a little tricky, and there's always sometimes political unrest and things like that as well in the way. So this is a lot easier to walk through.
It's a lot easier to come to the Melbourne Museum.
Joined here with Sean. Have you walked like an Egyptian ever?
No, I haven't. This is my first opportunity because this is the first time, I think, has Lord Carnarvon himself brought this exhibition here? Didn't they all die from curses?
Well, the thing is, funny thing is, I filmed it yesterday for the media launch. My camera went on the blink.
There you go.
Is that the curse?
There you go. I expect this is the last time you'll ever see me.
No, don't look into Tut's eyes is the secret. Test 1 2 2 1 2 2 test 2 2 Tutankhamun. My camera went on the blink. Is that curse still living on?
Well, there actually wasn't a curse on the tomb. It was made up to sell newspapers.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I've been touched by a curse then.
Well, there's something about the exhibition maybe, or even the King Tut lecturers, because every time I go out and lecture, something happens. But
Put me on that list then.
the real story is, the guy who discovered the tomb lived on almost into 70 years old, and the early 1900s, that was pretty good.
Kinberly, how are you? You're dressed for the night, I think a little bit of Egyptian inspired.
With the gold, little bit of gold thing.
So have you ever had a fascination for Egypt and all the tours?
I wouldn't say I'd specifically had a fascination, but I'm certainly interested, and I've heard how amazing this is, so I'm really looking forward to it.
It'd be all about the gold and the bling, really, shouldn't it?
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. They had that going on, didn't they?
I think you could play Cleopatra tonight. Just put a little head mask on.
Week? Yeah, sure.
It's quite ruthless, though, I must say.
That's all right, I've got ruthless in me.
You can do it. Enjoy the night.
Real, thank you.
I'm joined here with Molly, who's got the most amazing jacket. It's been hiding away for how many years?
18 years.
You waited 18 years to bring that out.
I know, it was like when we had a band on our label called No Justice, and it was Chook, the dreadlocks, but Brendan was the lead singer, and he was actually a fashion designer with his girlfriend. Made this jacket.
Must love it.
And I thought, where can I...
Turn around, just show the back, because the back is absolutely stunning. You've got a bit of a Tutankhamun on the back. Now, you saw the exhibition yesterday. What did you think?
It's amazing. I mean, I actually saw it in New York, and way back I saw it in LA and London, It's breathtaking, and it's been added to for the Melbourne collection, And
What is it with the fascination of Egypt that you've had for so long? Where does it come from? Were you a pharaoh in your last life?
did you say a pharaoh or pharaoh?
Well, king, maybe.
Maybe both. I don't know. No, the fascination, seriously, was my grandma when she brought me up for a long time when I was young, and she was so into all of this, And then I remember going when I was like 12, 13, coming up to the Melbourne Museum, and I was so devastated that there was nothing of anything Egyptian, basically, right?
Yeah.
I must do more trips down the Yarra, because maybe I have
Not a felucca.
in Melbourne. All right.
Too busy over there. Well, enjoy. Thanks so much. We're here on the entrance coming through, and we've got the guardians of the tomb. Now, you were the two statues that sat in the Tut's tomb like that, with guarding the tomb, yeah?
Yeah, we like to guard tombs. That's what we do. That's what we're here for, really.
Trying to make sure no one sneaks in either, yeah?
No, you got to keep a tight security around here. Sure.
So as a guardian, you just do a lot of standing for hours on end. It's been a few thousand years.
It's standing, kind of looking around, looking pretty.
That's pretty easy to do, yeah?
Yeah, it's a little bit easy, yeah.
It's working for you. Yeah?
Hopefully, so far it has been.
You got to have the Egyptian stand, so it's the 1 foot in front of. That's it. I think they snuck in.
There we go. No, we've checked them out. See the eyes is the eyes of the guardians.
Got to look into the eyes. This is a pretty big event for Victoria. Tell us a little about it.
It's a great event, a part of Winter Masterpieces, and Winter Masterpieces has been a great success for Victoria. Crowds of 200, 300,000 have been party to some of these extraordinary events.
Bit of a coup, really, isn't it?
It is, but we'd like to think that this is exactly the right place.
Was this done on the hush, or did we have other states bid, or how did it work?
All we know is that Victoria is recognised as a place where this will work, where it'll be appreciated.
The place to be.
It'll be a great success. This is a World Heritage listed centre for a World Heritage listed exhibit.
Now, do we have to change our number plates from Victoria, the place to be, to King Tut Town?
Oh, well, Tut Tut, I'd say to that.
Tut?
I think Victorians will really embrace this exhibition. The history, the story of the young king.
Yes.
And this will be magnificent.
You're kind of a bit of a king now, really. So how does it feel to be on the throne? I'm joined here on the black carpet with Jennifer. You've got this Egyptianish style dress tonight, yeah?
I have. Well, I thought I'd get into the mood of the evening, and I have to tell you, I've had a sneak peek of the exhibition, and it is absolutely spectacular.
It is. It's well lit. And have you ever been to Egypt at all?
I have, yes, quite a few years ago, and went to the museum in Cairo.
Not as nicely lit, though, is it?
This is beautiful. Have you had a look?
Yes, I went there yesterday.
What about the gift shop, though? That's pretty exciting.
That is. You got those lovely hats you can wear. So
no, it's not about the hats, it's about the jewellery.
Oh, the jewellery, of course. Female. What was that? You should be wearing a neck thing then.
Well, after tonight, yes, I plan to get one. But it's a beautiful. I think what's so exciting about tonight is they're expecting 800 people. This is a museum event, and they said almost everybody has said they'll be here. The buzz around this exhibition is quite extraordinary. It's fantastic.
So when you walk through, obviously you have the audio set as well.
No, I had my own private guide.
Oh, you had your... Oh, excuse us. I had the audio set. So what did you get out of the guide?
Well, I was with Mark, the curator, and he was very interesting because he said he's had to stay with all the exhibitions around the world. They're expecting this one to stay here for 9 months, so he can't stay for the duration. But he just said the idea of this is to make you feel like you're in Egypt. So he said a lot of people will never get to Egypt. So this is a little taste. And I think he's done a fantastic job because the mood, the lighting, the story, when you go into some of those rooms with the giant columns.
It's like a little labyrinth of little tombs, one after another after another. It's great, isn't it?
It is. It just takes you into that moment. And it really is spectacular. The pieces they have there are just breathtaking.
The detail in some, like the jewellery, obviously some of the jewellery, the pieces were amazing.
They're amazing, and it just brings home how sophisticated this race was. And you think that it's 3,000 years ago.
I think we've gone backwards now. Honestly, I don't know how they got half the detail.
No, this dress is okay.
No, that's true. Tutankhamun in Melbourne, that's a pretty big thing.
It is absolutely huge. I wouldn't be surprised if this was our biggest exhibition ever. There is enormous interest in the boy king. You must say, politics in ancient Egypt wasn't a long-term career, was it? Dead at 19. You know, it's not a long-term career. And since Keyte found this tomb, I think there's been fabulous interest in Tutankhamun and everything ancient Egyptian. And I think there's a special interest in Melbourne because we're such a young nation and such a young city. We are fascinated by antiquity. And I think that was shown by Pompeii when it was here and the great interest. Even our recent history, Titanic, and now, you know, the boy king. So,
is there a reason it came to Melbourne in particular, not Sydney or any other city, or did you pull a few strings?
The reason it came to Melbourne is that Melbourne is the greatest event city, not just in Australia, but in the world.
Look like you're about to discover Tut's tomb.
I am. I haven't seen the exhibition yet. However, I'm so impressed. Not only we've got the exhibition here, but also that we have, you know, the people in Melbourne. No other city can do it.
No way.
The people are dressed in black tie, and it's just natural.
On the black carpet, dressed to the night in the theme of Tutankhamun. You've got Katush written here.
Yes.
Now you've got the gold gloves or the hands. Tell us a bit about it.
When Tutankhamun was discovered, he was more or less intact. His mummy was intact, and they put gold finger stalls and toe stalls over his toes and fingers, which I thought was a really beautiful touch. And they used to do it with a lot of the mummies, but it was just to help preserve, because the Egyptians believed that gold preserved and gold was eternal, so it was their favoured metal.
So if something happens to you tonight with a curse, you're okay, you're a step ahead?
There was no real curse, really. So on the tomb it said, you know, if you open this tomb, a hippopotamus will eat you and things like that. So we'd like to believe from a romantic point of view that there was a curse, but there wasn't. I think that the romance of the thing is actually seeing the objects and being near them, actually, because you're looking at thousands of beautiful a beautiful civilization that had primitive parts of it, but it also had amazingly advanced parts.
Now, it's got such detail, and of course your partner here, you're looking amazing, mummy-esque, yes?
Mummy-esque.
Yes, silver instead of gold.
Well, no, you got to shine, no.
Yeah, you've got to sparkle. Yeah, you just decided to wear all your Diamante jewellery. Yeah, no.
Okay, who made the outfit? Where did it come from?
Savo. Yeah.
Fabulous. So you'd be just...
Yeah, we just wrap. All right, I said bring along lots of white clothes and we'll just wrap you up.
Oh, so how are you going to go to the bathroom tonight?
That's
something.
I hope you enjoyed it. Keep watching. More right after the break. Welcome. We are at Love Never Dies premiere red carpet. And we're seeing the who's who here on the red carpet for the opening of Love Never Dies.
It's an all-new production. There's a production of this show, slightly different, running currently in London, but Andrew felt very much that it was still work in progress. There was somewhere to go with it, and so I worked with him a little bit, and also, perhaps much more significantly, the Australian artistic production team worked on it, the director, the choreographer, the designer, and this is a world premiere. It's an all-new production of a somewhat changed Phantom Seat. If we have the triumph that I think everybody's been expecting with the incredible reactions we've had in the week of previews.
Absolutely. Although some of the sets weren't working, but I think they got them right now, yeah?
It's a very complicated set. One thing I think Melbourne can be absolutely assured of, they will see the money they pay for their ticket on stage. It's all on stage. This is a huge production.
I'm really looking forward to the revival and the continuation of the story.
Do you think it's a good thing having a sequel to a musical? Like, this is really kind of a first, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think what is good about it is being redeveloped by an Australian. So it's, once that's established, I mean, he'll never look back.
Nothing better than a first night in Melbourne.
Oh, we love a red carpet opening. Have you seen this at all?
No, I haven't.
So what are you expecting from tonight?
Something spectacular, something fabulous. The story is that Andrew Lloyd Webber has written the best score that he's ever written, which says something because I'm a fan of shows like Sunset Boulevard, Levita. So I have to say I'm looking forward to it.
Is it a dangerous thing doing a sequel to such, an infamous musical?
Of course, because you have to live up to the preceding show. That is a big risk. But from what I hear, the Melbourne production is superlative and far better than anything that's been done in London. And I presume this will be the show that goes to New York.
Are you going to hold up a card tonight?
No, I'm not here to judge. I'm here to enjoy theatre and support theatre and support Aussies. You know, this is really important tonight with, the show being Australian, made in essence. So I'm just here to support, especially...
Can you switch it off, or do you really look at things and go,
I'm the classic example of when there's a blackout, I see things go on, or if there's something going on in the wrong area, I sort of see it. You don't want to see anything go wrong, but you just...
like the wrong.
No. I'm just here to support and just be, a good supporting Australian performer myself.
How are you tonight?
Quite well.
Now, what are you expecting from tonight's performance?
Expecting to see a curtain, and then at one point in the evening, it will rise.
It will rise.
And behind the curtain will be revealed a group of people in old-fashioned clothing.
Do you think they could contemporise this musical a little bit?
It should be set in Luna Park.
Luna Park, yes.
I think so.
Well,
Australian.
There is a big mouth on stage. I know that. And I did sort of think it was like Luna Park.
The big mouth. It's going to be a great show.
It will be a great show. I think you should get up there and do a number as well. What do you say?
Then the audience may stamp and request it, but only not until then.
So are you a big Phantom fan?
Actually, my first job out of NIDA was Phantom of the Opera in Vietnam. So
how'd you go?
It was great. I felt like I was a bit in over my head at the time. It was a big job playing Phantom. I think I was about 20.
Give us your best Phantom song. There's a certain voice, isn't it?
Oh, there is. Phantom's that beautiful that. Nighttime sharpens, heightens each sensation.
You are good.
finest productions I've ever seen of my work anywhere. I think you and the team, you have made a dream come true for me, because I wasn't really that happy with this in London, and here it is in Melbourne, exactly as I hoped it would be. Thank you very, very much.
We're now at the Sofitel. We're about to walk into Coney Island. This is the after party. Come in and enjoy the fun fair. They have decked it out at no expense, mind you. This is going to be one of the most amazing after parties to be at. As you can see, there's food, there's drinks, there's wine, and a lot of fun to have. What's it been like? I mean, obviously a lot of rehearsal. You've had Andrew there every day.
It's been great. It's been exhausting, but really wonderful, really creative process for all of us, and yeah, just thrilling to be a part of it.
And your role, how difficult is it to get that voice right?
Oh, look, it's a demanding role, but it's just kind of, you know, you warm up properly and jump in feet first and sort of hang on for dear life, and then an hour and a half later you're at the end. So
how many times have you watched Phantom then in your life?
Twice.
Okay, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, once as a kid, and then once in the last production that was out here.
His opening number, I think, is the most killer for me. It's just like, oh, blows you out.
It's fantastic. That's one number that was repositioned from a previous life. That number used to appear at a different point in the show, but I think it acts really beautifully as a prologue now. So no, it's a good way to start.
Favourite song?
I love Till I Hear You Sing. I don't know, I'm just chilling in my dressing room, and it's wonderful to hear the top of the show and hear Ben over the tannoy. Yeah.
Do you have a problem like, I mean, I watch the musical and the songs just go in your head, you can't get rid of them. What's your daily life like? Do you have them all the time as well?
Well, we've been working during the day and performing at night, so it's been a bit like that.
Always there.
Yeah, exactly. You got to sleep humming them, but Andrew's music's beautiful, so you could go to sleep with a lot worse things in your head, I think.
Well, great. Thanks for a wonderful night. Opening night finally over.
Yeah.
You breathe now.
Yeah, I can. It's all on. It's good. We're very happy.
Now, this is a bit of an amazing journey to bring it out to Australia. How did it come about?
No, I did see it in London, but I just went to a preview because I was in London putting Priscilla, Queen of the Desert on. And it was starting to preview, and Really Useful were producing Queen of the Desert, so I went to see it. And I did think that the score was really gorgeous. I remember thinking, wow, that's really, there's some beautiful stuff there. But there was a rumour going round, that Andrew wasn't very happy, and everyone was very tense. But I didn't think anything of it for 6 months. I just had seen the show, and then
who called who?
Tim McFarlane from Really Useful here in Australia called me and said there was some talk that they might do a new Australasian production of it. So was I interested? And I said, well, I love that score. Yeah, I'm interested. And about a month later, it said, fly across and see Andrew, and that's where it started.
I mean, everyone has to go to London to see that version as well. It's just this double thing going on now.
Oh, well, who knows? There are many mad people in showbiz.
You must be so proud of this production.
Very proud. I've got a beautiful cast. They've been so dedicated to it. And a great collaboration.